Yeah, well, welcome everybody. We're so excited to
Hey,
have
you
you.
on?
So Jerry Foster is someone that we met through Gary Craig, and we became quick friends, and we realized that he was is a major resource for us personally with moving money, moving our fiat currency, and being able to offload our rewards. And so we've talked a couple of times about this, and we decided to do a coin zoom call for everyone so that everyone can see the value of what we have. Because right now we don't have access to Swiss Foreign Bank, right? And so the more that we learned about CoinZoom, the more we wanted everybody to be able to have access to this. So I want to introduce everyone to Jerry Foster. He is an absolute genius with this, and we'll just let him take it from here.
Wow, that's an amazing introduction. Thank you, Linda, very much. Um,
Christian should.
I'm excited to be here because I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about what we do, how we change people's lives financially, and I'm a big believer in crypto. So excited to be here and talk about what I think is obviously a really important part of understanding what it is that we do and understanding how to take advantage of the rewards that we receive. Right. This training is designed to be pretty simple, and I want you to understand the viewpoint that it comes from. I've been full time as a crypto investor for 4 years now, and a little over 3 years, about 3.5 years ago, I found a company called CoinZoom, and I had used, and my partners had used multiple different crypto exchanges. And if you understand cryptocurrency, digital currency, one of the issues is we have to turn our fiat or our cash, our dollars, our British pounds, our euros, whatever, into cryptocurrency, right? And then we use the cryptocurrency for whatever it is that we use it for. And then when we want to buy lunch or a tank of gas or a new set of tires for your car, you have to turn it into fiat again. Well, no more, not with CoinZoom. And I'm excited about that. I was excited about it when I found it. I hope you're excited about it. I'm going to walk you through the process. I want to try and keep it really simple. And then also, as you mentioned, Linda and Christian, both, I think you said, we'll do a Q&A. Today's training, real simple. Why CoinZoom? Who is CoinZoom? Fiat or cash, you want to call it that, to crypto, converting that, right? Then crypto to spendability. Notice I didn't say crypto back to cash because I don't turn my crypto back into cash. And I'm going to talk about how that's done. And then, as I said, we'll definitely do a Q&A. So first of all, why CoinZoom? It's safe, it's dependable, it's fast, and it's low cost. And one of the things that I try to do in my personal life and in my business life is minimize costs, right? We want to keep costs low, and that increases our profits. Most people, when they get started, don't think about the costs involved in getting the money converted into crypto and then sending crypto, the gas fees, transfer fees, and then vice versa, coming back the other direction. And it can really add up to be a lot. And I'll give you a simple example, and I'll show you on the screen here in a minute what I'm talking about. But I recently helped two people in the same week, very coincidentally, utilize $70,000 and put $70,000 into GS Partners. Two people, they didn't know each other, and just pure coincidence, it was $70,000 for each of them. And I helped them do that using CoinZoom. And their cost, getting it all the way into certificates, was less than $400. Okay, you don't have to be a mathematician to say, okay, that is a very small percentage, right? That's like a fraction of a percent. I looked it up. It's been a couple of weeks now. I looked it up, but I do know what 3% would be. I do know what 3% would be because I'm trying to stop as many people as possible to stop paying 3% to put your money into GS Partners, because 3% was $2,100. So both of these members implemented $70,000 for less than 400 in fees, and 3% would have been $2,100. You say, well, yeah, but they're going to make all this money. I've heard this so many times over the last 4 years. Yeah, I don't care. I'm gonna make so much it'll make up for it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Look at what we can do in GS Partners with the difference there, which is $1,700. And I can do 5 times 1,700. Can you? I can do 10 times 1,700. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is be mindful of the fees. And when you have an opportunity to cut the fees, do so. Well, who is CoinZoom? It's important if you're going to be working with an exchange, and I don't know how much thought you put into the last exchange that you signed up for and you did business with, and how much due diligence you did. But we did a lot of due diligence when we met CoinZoom about 3.5 years ago, and we found that they are, from a regulatory perspective, compliant. They're compliant across the board in the U.S., in Australia, in Europe, and they have customers in a little over 200 countries. I think I've got it in print here, 196, and it's increased from that. They have laid the groundwork for a very solid compliance infrastructure, and that's important if the government is starting to scrutinize these crypto exchanges and making it difficult for them to know that CoinZoom from the very beginning is very compliant, I think is a really big deal. And you can read there on the screen. I don't have to go through all the different details there. But one of the things I do want to do, I'm going to pull up my screen and I'm going to do just some browser sharing with you. And one of the places I'll point you to. And by the way, during the training, don't go sign up, okay? Because I've got something that special that I want you to do about the sign up process that's going to be a help to you. But certainly after the training, if you want to pause, you could do that. But you can go to the CoinZoom website, and it's just coinzoom.com. And if you go to the very bottom of the page, of the home page, in terms of the regulatory compliance, it's right here under licenses. Do you see that at the bottom? It's coinzoom.com all the way to the bottom under disclosure, licenses. And it talks about all the different products. I mean, it's a pretty robust website. There's a lot of information there. And you're going to be downloading the app for your smartphone, whether it be an iPhone in the App Store or an Android in the Google Play Store. And by the way, the links to do that are here at the bottom. Now, don't do that yet. Hang on. Let me walk through and cover this stuff first. But I just wanted to point that out because to me, that was a big deal. And a few things have happened since in the past 3.5 years. We've seen some things happen in terms of newsworthy events, right? Of large crypto exchanges that turned out to be not so great after all. And so I was really grateful at the time. I've been so grateful many times over the last 3.5 years that CoinZoom is as compliant and above board as they are. And like any organization, you want to know who's at the helm and who are these people. And I can tell you, it's been a pleasure to get a chance to meet several of these executives personally. The first and foremost is a co-founder and CEO, Todd Cross, and with a proven track record, super successful guy, personally the smartest business person I've ever done business with. And under full disclosure, I am now doing business not only as a customer, but after 3 years as a customer at CoinZoom, my partners and I, we run an equity fund. We had the opportunity to invest in CoinZoom. And so for those of you old enough to remember the old Remington shaver commercials, remember the guy? He said, I love this razor so much, I bought the company. Well, we bought a portion of CoinZoom. That's how much we love it. And I'll tell you right now, the only reason that we had an interest is because of the quality of the people running the company, what they have done, and what they're doing moving forward. So CoinZoom is a crypto-enabled ecosystem that delivers the best of blockchain uses internationally. I mean, you can send, spend, earn, you can fund, you can even invest. But I think it's important to understand that it's truly an end-to-end platform to go from cash to crypto and then back to what I call spendability. Not back to cash, but back to spendability. And it's soup to nuts, A to Z. We have our CoinZoom Visa, which we can use and spend crypto anywhere in the world that accepts Visa. If you think about how often we hold cash, pay with cash, it's rare. And in fact, these days, it's very rare to present your card. If you're like me, or you're anything you're doing online or in your phone with apps or websites, that your card is stored, you're paying with your card there. And out and about in the IRL, as they call it, in the real world, or in real life, I'm usually using my Apple Pay, and you might use your Google Pay if you're an Android user, or my watch, my Apple Watch to make payments, and those are all tied to my CoinZoom Visa, which is super helpful on the backside of this thing. So CoinZoom has every part of the personal banking system covered. I love to be able to send money, meaning currency, and crypto anywhere in the world for free to another CoinZoom member. And I do that using ZoomMe. We talked about the Visa debit card. You can hold your crypto there in the centralized exchange. You get crypto rewards, which we're going to talk about when we talk a little bit more about the CoinZoom Visa. You can invest in crypto in the future, very near future, because CoinZoom has their broker-dealer license. You'll be able to invest in the stock market as well as NFTs. And a pretty cool feature I love is you can give crypto gift cards. You can give other gift cards, and certainly you can send money and crypto with that ZoomMe P2P feature. Okay, so how do you set it up? It's actually pretty basic, pretty simple, and you do have to do it from a smartphone. Okay, and you can, after the account is set up, after you've done what's called your KYC, which is called Know Your Customer, because they're a regulated exchange, they have to know who each and every customer is. You have to prove your identity. We're used to that. If you're in GS Partners, we've done that as a part of GS Partners, so that's no big deal. But you'll do this from your smartphone. Once it's set up, you can use either your phone or your computer. I use both. And if you're like me, you're out and about and constantly using your phone as you're out and about. And I will, in fact, be sitting at my desk, and without thinking it, muscle memory, I'll reach for my phone and they go, oh, that's right, I'm sitting at the computer. It might be just as easy if I pulled it up on the computer. So you have the choice of doing either one. Okay, so to get it set up, the first thing you do, number one, is download the app. And so when you download the app, just go to your app store. I'm an iPhone user, so I go here to the Apple iTunes app store, and you want to download CoinZoom Pro, please. CoinZoom Pro. In the future, there'll only be one, and this one is the one that you want to use, the CoinZoom Pro app. Okay, so download that. That's step one, and you see here it's loading. Once it's loaded, do not open it. Okay, I want you to go to a link or a QR code, and when you scan this QR code or you click on the link, it will launch the app. I recommend you give it, you allow notifications. I want to see when crypto's coming in, when there's something going on with my account, so that notification goes off. Put in your email address. Write down a password. Here's a trick I learned. I've helped a lot of people in the last 4 years, and I can't tell you how much time they've spent trying to figure out their password. Do yourself a favor and write the password down before you type it into your computer. Have like some sort of little log book or something that you keep track of your passwords. It will definitely save you. The good news is, because this is a centralized exchange, there is a customer service department. They are amazing and very, very receptive, and can help you with things like the password, the 2FA process. If you set up the 2FA, which I recommend that you do. But here in the process here, you just on verify. As soon as you hit continue, bam, it's going to open up the app again. And then you're going to go ahead next and put in your phone number, country code first, sortable alphabetically. And, keep in mind, this is a great asset for people worldwide. It's not just in the US, not every single country. In fact, sadly, Canada has made it so difficult to do business in crypto that CoinZoom just said, yeah, sorry, Canada. We're not going to work with you. So, but other than Canada and any of the countries that are on the OFAC list, they're excluded. Most countries is going to work fantastic. And so not just for you, but anybody that you may be helping and bringing into CoinZoom. Okay. So now you've gone through and set up the account. Now, one of the things that's a little bit tricky, but the KYC or know your customer process. You've done it before. If you've set up a GS Partners account, the one thing that's a little bit unique, and that's why I said you have to use your smartphone with CoinZoom, is you have to use the live camera on your smartphone to take a selfie and to take a picture of your ID front and back. Now, once your account is set up, you then need to complete the KYC or know your customer process. The easiest way to push to that is where it says dollars there at USD and hit deposit. And it's going to tell you, oh, you got to complete the KYC process. Hit OK. Your information has already been filled out. What you need now is a picture of your ID and a selfie. So hit account status there on the right, and then choose the type of identification you're going to use. If it's passport, it only has a front. And then you take the selfie. If it's a driver's license or a government ID card, then you're going to take a picture of both of those. Okay. So what happens is when you click on the type, let's say driver's license, what most people use, when you click on the front, it's going to ask permission to use your camera. Of course, say okay. And then it will turn on the camera. And all you do is just put your driver's license below that. Obviously not my driver's license, right? But you take the you put the driver's license on a dark surface, and it's going to snap the picture, and there's the front. Then click on back. Now you've got the front and the back, and then all you need is the selfie. Click on selfie. Link, and there's your selfie. Okay, put all those in. Now don't forget also your social security number, and you just put in the last 4 digits of the social security number. So you've got the ID front and back, if it's passport, just the front. You've got your selfie. Flip over, put in the last 4 digits of your social security number, and then hit submit. Good news is that KYC process is automated. They use AI for that, and it is normally just a few minutes, which, if you know anything about crypto and KYC, sometimes it can take hours, even days. I've heard horror stories of even, weeks to get KYC approved with other exchanges. And in my experience, in 3.5 years, the longest it ever took was for a foreign country, and the picture was very blurry. And it took about a day and a half, and that's an extenuating circumstance. The way that you can tell if the KYC is done, you're sitting there, what's the old saying, a watch pot doesn't boil, right? And so if you're sitting there staring, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? 7, 8, 10 minutes takes forever, right? Just turn your back on it, come back, and in 10, 15 minutes, And if you'll hit on fund your account, as we're going to do here in just a second, if it allows you to get access to the fund your account portion, then the KYC is done. Okay. So in terms of funding your account, your CoinZoom account, transferring from your bank to CoinZoom, there are a few different ways that you can do it, and there's one preferable way to do it, and that is if you just click on the Linda calls it the hamburger menu. I don't know, Christian, does she only do that when she's hungry, or is it always the hamburger menu? Right.
Yeah.
These little 3-line menu up here at the top. If you click on that, it will open up the menu here. There we go. And notice there where it says fund your account there at the bottom, that white box at the bottom, fund your account. You click on that. And when you click on that, you'll see the different options that you have. Okay. Now, there is only one best option that I use and that I always recommend, and it is the wire transfer. Okay. It's cool that you can add money with Apple Pay, but there's a higher fee and there's a delay. One of the key things here that is unique to our application of what we're doing with CoinZoom, I think you can appreciate that most people who open up a crypto exchange account and they convert their dollars or their euros or whatever into crypto, they don't immediately send it out somewhere. In other words, they set up the exchanges, they're going to buy some Bitcoin, let's say, and they buy it and it normally sits there. We're unique in that all we're doing here is CoinZoom is a on-ramp, right? So as soon as we get it, we want to send it to GS partners. All of these have a delay for new accounts. And the reason for that is, in addition to delays that may occur in the system, they are doing fraud protection. And they're protecting against, unfortunately, creeps, unscrupulous characters that are defrauding people and ripping people off. They're not ripping CoinZoom off. They're ripping somebody off that they get someone to send money in and then crypto out, and then they've ripped them off. Okay. With the referral code that I'm going to put in the chat and put on the screen in the QR code, we have a system set in place so that when you are sending with a wire transfer, I'm basically vouching for you. Okay. So don't take this link or this QR code and post it out on social media somewhere. Okay. But I'm basically vouching for you that you're not ripping somebody off and that this is a legitimate transaction, and I can get that hold removed. And in the near future, that hold will be removed automatically when you use this referral code. Okay. So what you want to do is do a wire transfer. Now, when you do a wire transfer, it's a pretty simple process. If you've ever done one with your bank, your bank just needs the wiring instructions. Okay. These are the wiring instructions. When you click on wire transfer, the wiring instructions are here, the name of the bank, the account number, the routing number, ABA number, all that. Two very important things to remember. And this is something that'd be good to write down on a wire transfer. Number one, it has to come from an account that is in your name. You just did the KYC in your name. Therefore, the money that's coming into CoinZoom has to come from the same person. Okay. And that's a fraud issue and a compliance issue. It's not their rule. It's compliance and the government's rule. Okay. And so if you have, and I often run into this, I'll have someone that has a business account and they've got to move it from the business account into the personal account and then wire from their bank, from their name into their CoinZoom account. All right. That's first thing. The second thing, and by the way, has that ever been screwed up before? Gary Craig, I want you to chime in right now, because Gary had this happen one time inadvertent. He didn't even know it was, but when it happened, now this isn't an excuse to allow it to happen, but I think it'd be a good time to bring Gary in right now, because I want to hear a testimonial of how fantastic the CoinZoom customer service is. What happened when there was a wire it was sent from one person, from one name into a different name? What happened, Gary, when you got CoinZoom customer service involved? Do you remember?
Customer service got me on a Zoom conference with my client and one of their upper management, and within minutes solved the issue.
Yeah. And that, I mean, it really and truly is an example of how great their customer service is. And when I was a new customer, I hadn't even been a customer a week or maybe less, a week or two, we'll say, 3.5 years ago, right? Memory's good, but the exact details. And it was a Sunday, and I had something that I couldn't figure out. It wasn't working right, something. So I sent in a support ticket, and you can do that from the app. There's a link there in that menu. Remember where we saw the menu a second ago with the fund your account? One of the links there is support, and you can open a support ticket, and that sends an immediate ticket into customer support on a Sunday. Me thinking that, well, they'll see it on Monday morning, and hopefully, early Monday we'll get this resolved. I got an email back within minutes, and I remember it was Sunday night at 9:00, and the guy said, "Could you hop on a Zoom?" And my response was, "Yes, now Sunday night." He goes, "Yeah, I'll meet you on there at 9:00 Mountain." And he did. And I don't remember what it was. It was quickly and easily resolved. And I can't promise that you're going to get support on a Sunday night at 9 p.m., but that is truly the level of support. And that's a big deal if you've dealt with exchanges at all in the past. That's fantastic.
Sorry about that. I had a client who was wiring money from GS Partners into their CoinZoom account, and they transposed the routing number and the account numbers. And they were stressed out because they checked their account. It wasn't there for a day. So they called CoinZoom, and CoinZoom was really great about resolving it. So that's just another good testimony. You guys have good support over there.
I appreciate that. Yeah. And over and over and over, like I said, realize for over 3 years, I was just a customer, and you just don't find this level of customer service and support in the crypto world. Exchanges, it's non-existent. Okay, so that's a great thing. Okay, so the wire, number one, from an account in your name. Number two, you have to make sure and include your reference number. You see there on the screen, there's a reference number behind that little tab, and you have your own unique reference number. And all you need to do is just make sure and put that in the memo section for the wire transfer. If you're filling it out online, your online banking, there's an area that says memo. Just put reference number and list what that reference number is. If you're filling out the form and you're at the bank, make sure it's written on there. Make sure you make a big deal out of it to them that you say, I need this reference number to be included as a memo. Okay. Easily done. Now, the last thing I'll say about wire transfer is don't take any crap from your bank or credit union about wiring money to CoinZoom. Okay. It's your money. It's not any of their business. And it amazes me how often people are taking flack from their financial institution about getting access to their money. It's your money you put in there, right? If they ask what it is, just keep it really simple and just say, this is one of my retirement accounts. And I think that is absolutely true for every single one of us. Okay. This is one of my retirement accounts. That's what CoinZoom is. That's what GS Partners is, right? Aren't we all, regardless of our age, building for someday nest egg retirement account? Okay, and if you have any issues beyond that, I've only heard of it one time. It was a little bank in Maine where they absolutely refused to send it, even though we went back to them and showed them the actual state of Maine website that CoinZoom was listed with had a money transfer license for Maine. So I'm not expecting that you'll have a problem. I just want you to be prepared in case something comes up. Okay. All right. So you've got the wire transfer sent. The way the wire transfers work, it has to leave your bank. Just because you told your bank to send it doesn't mean it got sent yet. And if you've sent very many wires, you could probably tell stories, as I can. Make it a point of urgency with your bank to get this out. Just say, it's time sensitive. Could you please make sure that this goes out? Okay. after your bank sends it, it has to clear the Federal Reserve System. Now, I'm speaking in terms of the US. You can wire from foreign countries as well. The wiring instructions are a bit different, but very similar. And if you KYC in another country, your screen where it says wiring instructions will not be this same screen here. All right. So just pay attention to that. Same exact process, but different information. All right. But in the US, it has to clear the Federal Reserve. And I guess probably as it comes back into from another country, probably clears the Federal Reserve as well. The Fed closes at 5 p.m. Eastern. That's 2 p.m. Pacific. And that means a wire that goes out at 5 minutes before that is not going to clear the Fed that day. Okay. So anytime you can, send it as early as possible. I've sent dozens of wires in the past 3.5 years, and I've never had one not go through and I always send it before 2 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Knock on wood. Yes. This desktop is wood, not just veneer. Okay. Just send it as early in the day as you possibly can. And then know the way it batches with Evolve Bank and Trust is they batch at night. And so the next morning, CoinZoom has the money and it's sitting in the account. Okay. Christian, Linda, Gary, anything you can think to add on that? That's a big part of the whole process is the wire transfer.
I thought it was very easy.
It really is.
Just dealing with a bank. I think I told the bank I was putting a roof on my parents' house, and they left it alone. And then it went in, and there it was. And then I just needed to learn, well, how do I purchase the crypto? And so I think that's what you're going to go over that as well.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So once we get the money into CoinZoom, we've got to get the money then over to GS Partners, right? So that's CoinZoom is the on-ramp. And what we're going to do is we're going to transfer the money from CoinZoom to GS Partners. But before we do that, we need to go in and we need to purchase cryptocurrency. And one of the things that is fantastic about CoinZoom, as I mentioned earlier, is the fees. And you're going to pay anywhere from 1/2 to 1/10 the fees to buy and send cryptocurrency with CoinZoom. Okay. And that's a big deal.
I want to add that your specific way
Yes.
was the least expensive way. So I do really want everybody to pay attention to what he's saying right here and which currency, because this was the fee at the $70,000. I was a part of that. That allowed him to pay, I think it was 0.52% on the 70 is what the number was. And so let's make sure we understand what he's about to say.
Well, let's just see exactly how to do this, okay? And you see on the screen, it says that we're going to use USDT, which is also referred to as Tether. And very specifically, we're going to end up using the TRC20 version. Okay, so in your notes, USDT, it's also called Tether, and the TRC20. It's a stable coin. It's pinned to the value of the US dollar. Okay. So it's give or take 1 for 1, very close, within a fraction of a penny. Okay. And it's fast to transfer and very low fees. This is, would you agree, Linda, all the people you'd help, this is maybe one of the areas where they get hung up the most is on the buying.
Yep.
Okay. So here I have my CoinZoom account up on the laptop here. When you transfer money in, it has to be in USD or US dollars. If you're in the US, that's exactly what you transfer anyway, right? But if you're sending internationally to CoinZoom, you're transferring US dollars. You send dollars. Okay. So in the upper left-hand portion of the screen, don't get overwhelmed by what's on the screen that you don't need to worry about or don't see and oh, that's trading charts and candles and I don't know what that is. And no, just stick right here on the left hand side. Make sure that USD is underlined. That's the US dollar pair. And then just come right here in the search box and type in USDT. USDT USD pair. You understand crypto pairs, what you're buying is listed first, what you're buying it with is listed second. We're going to come in and we're going to do a buy, and we're going to do a market order, and you put in the amount, whatever amount of tether you're going to buy. And once you key in that amount, double check. Yeah, does that look right? Yeah. I'm buying 10,000. I'm buying 70,000, whatever it is, buying 500, whatever it is. Then you just click on the buy button, and then it'll walk you through the process, confirm that that's the correct amount. And you will want to set up a 2FA. If you haven't used two-factor authentication before, it's absolutely advisable. It's an extra layer of security, and there are apps that you can download from the App Store. Just type in authenticator, and there are multiple different authenticator apps that you can use. It's super easy to add CoinZoom. You probably did it with your GS Partners account, and your sponsor probably showed you how to do that. So that's just an extra layer of security to make sure that it's you buying the crypto, sending the crypto. So once you've made the purchase and you now own the cryptocurrency, you then go over to portfolio right here, okay? And you click on portfolio, and then it just lists all of your assets there alphabetically, and you just go down and click on tether, okay? And you're going to click on send tether. Come in and add your GS Partners address to the whitelist. So you've bought the crypto. Now you're going to send the crypto. And in fact, I believe I have a little video for you of that from the phone as well. Okay. You can see we've got the 69,642 in tether. I'm going to mute you there, Frank, if you don't mind. Portfolio. Now we go to tether, and then the send. The first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to come in, and we're going to have to set up that add that GS Partners address. Add that to what's called your whitelist there. So log into your GS Partners account and click on the deposit now. So when you come in, you can select which cryptocurrency you want to deposit. Type in tether. Again, making sure that you choose the TRC20. Ethereum is ridiculously expensive in fees. If you know anything, if you know what GWEI is, then you know how expensive it is. GWEI is the gas fee on Ethereum. So we're going to save a lot, two words, a lot of money by using the TRC20. Okay. Now you see there the QR code. If you're using your app for CoinZoom, you can actually scan the QR code, but also notice you can come down and you can copy the wallet address. Wallet address here. See that gold box right there where it says copy address? You can copy that, and then you can bring it over here to CoinZoom. And you're going to click on receive. See at the top there, receive. And then you're going to add address and create a whitelist address for this GS Partners address. And I just used an abbreviation. Just use initials, GSP, TRC20. Paste that address in. That way it's there. So confirm that it's correct each time. But I always do two things. I always confirm that it hasn't changed from one instance to the next. And then I always send a test amount. Okay. So in other words, in this example, probably saw there was a little bit of tether already there, because I don't send 70,000 and hope that it makes it. send a test, send 50, send $100. I like to send over 100, and then someone can use that 100 to buy their membership for a couple of months. And we tested the everything on both sides. It went through, it worked, and then go back and send the balance. In this case, 69,628.33, not dollars, but Tether. And then a quick note, just type some sort of a note, balance transfer, something, and then send. And you'll confirm that. You see everything on the screen, you confirm. When you hit the send now, it'll pull up the 2FA. You hit the 2FA, you key in the 6 digits from your 2FA, and you're up and you're up and running. Okay. And that is sent. So that will arrive, by the way. Another nice thing about the Tron TRC20 network is it's relatively fast, and it'll show up in, less than 15 minutes. Certainly, I've seen it in less than 5. And so what I'll normally do as well is, this is a good time. We go in, I log them into their GS Partners account, set up their 2FA, do their KYC. By the time that's done, and I always do that in the onboarding process. Okay. So that way it's done and taken care of. They got the extra level of security with the 2FA. They have the KYC done. So help your people by getting their KYC set up. And again, that's just it's tap dancing for 5 or 10 minutes. Get that done while that transfer happens and occurs. Okay. Again, less than $400 for that transaction versus $2,100. And that's a big deal, not just because it saved them $1,700, but in my mind, it made them many thousands of dollars extra, because that went into certificates. And let's face it, if they're spending it on fees, it's not going into your volume and affecting, your rank, your placement, and your bonuses. So I think that's a big deal. Okay, so now let's go back the other direction. The other direction, we can take our rewards from GS Partners, or you can send crypto to CoinZoom from anywhere. It's a wallet to wallet type thing. But for our application here, very specifically, to take your rewards that you earn and make, 2 different things, right? In GS Partners, you can then send them back to CoinZoom. It's just a reverse process. You remember how we added the GS Partners wallet address in CoinZoom? Well, it's just the opposite here now in GS Partners, and it's pretty simple to do. And we click on the Withdraw Now button. When we click on in our dashboard, our GS Partners Withdraw button, we click on Withdraw Now. You have to then again come through and select the cryptocurrency, right? We're converting in most cases to Tether on the ERC20 network and just taking the hit on those gas fees, right?
That is correct.
Yep.
So we got to pay the gas fees, go in the reverse direction. Thankfully, it's not both directions. So that's what we're doing, is converting to Tether on the ERC20. Now, when I select that, I come over here and it's telling me Tether, ERC20. And the first time I send, I've got to add a new withdraw address. Okay. So you paste the address in here and give that a label here. Now, it's important to keep in mind, again, remember, we're talking about different blockchains, and you can only send TRC to a TRC20 wallet, right? ERC20 to an ERC20 wallet. And the nice thing about that with CoinZoom is once it gets there, it's just Tether. They don't treat it as, well, you've got $100 in Tether TRC20 and you've got $1,000 in Tether ERC20. It's all considered to be one and the same. So keep in mind that when you send or receive, make sure you're using the correct blockchain and the correct wallet address. So you can see here in CoinZoom, it tells you only send USDT coin Tether. Sending any other digital assets will result in permanent loss. This was, this is news for people that are new to crypto. Like, what do you mean I can't send just Bitcoin to Tether? No, it's got to stay within on the rails of the blockchain. So they're making you say, I understand. Now in CoinZoom, you're selecting the network for Tether. Are you receiving from the Tron TRC20 or are you receiving from the Ethereum? Well, in this case of our example, it's coming from an ERC20, right? So we have got to choose the Ethereum network. And and you write this in your notes. Here's a simple way to keep track. Ethereum ERC20 addresses always start with 0x, and Tron addresses always start with T, the letter T for Tron. Okay. Just keep that in mind. Okay. Now we've sent money back to CoinZoom and we have money sitting in CoinZoom. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to help people with this because they say, okay, now, how do I turn into dollars? Well, my first question is why are you turning it into dollars? Okay. Because when I talk about crypto to spendability, if you could spend crypto, wouldn't you just as soon spend crypto? And that's what we have the ability to do with CoinZoom, because the CoinZoom Visa card, which is available in the US today, in 40 or 41 Latin American and Caribbean countries before the end of the year. We just use the CoinZoom Visa card and we spend our crypto. We don't have to convert ahead of time. We also can use it in anybody that takes Visa worldwide, and we can use it in an ATM, and we can pull out cash in whatever country we're in from the ATM. Now, there are different levels of the cards, and one of the things that you want to do when you go into the website and you're doing some reading, see these different colored cards. If I go back over to the CoinZoom website and you click here on cards, it shows you the different card programs. Now, I love one of the great things about CoinZoom is I get 5% back on nearly every purchase. There's very, very few that don't qualify. But that depends upon what level of card you have. I have a black card, and the black pays 5% back, and all my fees are cut in half. Now, which card you get depends upon how many Zoom tokens that you hold. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But when you set up your CoinZoom account and you did your KYC, you immediately receive a 16-digit Visa number, your virtual card number. You can also order them to send you a tangible card as well. Okay. And I love the fact that we're helping both the banked as well as the unbanked. As long as someone has a smartphone and a government ID, they've got a CoinZoom account, they've got a Visa debit card, and I've had the privilege of working with a lot of people that made a big difference in their life. And if they're in other countries, they can also use what's called CoinZoom Cash, and they can actually put their money from their CoinZoom account onto their debit card that they have with their other banks around the world. I mean, it's that way in the US as well, but it's that way around the world as well. So that gives people the spendability option. If it's not a CoinZoom Visa card, you do have to convert to cash first. If it's a CoinZoom Visa card, you do not have to convert ahead of time.
We used CoinZoom when we were in Florida when we went there for a week, and we used it for literally everything. Linda can tell you a little bit more about that.
Yeah, you were in the Keys.
Yep.
Yeah. Worked great.
I mean, we paid
great.
For
that was one of your first times using it, right?
Yeah, and we didn't really know what we had until we got on with you, and then you explained. You just every time you're using that, you're getting stuff back, and that I kind of went, "What are you talking about?" So,
yeah,
it was good.
Well, it's handy. We've used it. My partner and I have used it around the world in at least 4 continents, if not 5, and it truly works everywhere that accepts Visa. And I'm a big believer in cryptocurrency. Okay. I'm not a big believer in the US dollar, which the government tells us is the inflation rate is, what are they claiming? 8-10%, something like that. And if they calculated it the way it used to be calculated back in the 70s and even the 80s, our inflation rate would be 20% or so. So, I mean, even if we split the difference, we're still talking double digit inflation. So that means a dollar. And I mean, I'm sitting at my desk. I literally can't, I can't put my hands on dollar because I don't carry it. I think if I dug through my backpack, I've got a little bit of cash in there somewhere. But if I held up $100 bill from last year, it doesn't buy this year what it bought last year, right? The $100 bill is worth less, at least 10% less. Some claim 20% less. Whereas my Bitcoin and my Ethereum and my Bitcoin Cash and other coins and tokens that I have are worth more. Okay. Now there's some people are nervous because like, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Well, let's look at over time, who's going to win, right? And the other thing to keep in mind is you can always use a stable coin. When that money's in Tether, it's a stable coin. So it is pinned to the US dollar, right? So it's just something to keep in mind when it comes to the spendability. And it's, as far as CoinZoom, do your own due diligence. You know where my heart is. I vote with my wallet, and I voted with my wallet, and love this company and believe that this company is really going places. And one of the things that's going to benefit as the company grows and as the company becomes more and more successful, more and more well known around the world, their Zoom token, utility token, is going to go up in value. And that's how we get paid in rewards, is with the Zoom token. And we get paid up to 5% back. With the black card, you can read the different cards and the different levels of Zoom tokens that you hold or that you own in order to qualify for the different ranks. But Gary, you and I have had a black card now for over 3 years, and it's a great benefit. It's a great benefit. I've personally earned well over 100,000 Zoom tokens in those 3.5 years, and my partner Ron is way beyond that. So someday, those tokens we believe are going to be dramatically worth more. But again, keep in mind, when you get paid the rewards, you get paid at the value today. Okay? Today, Linda, you just bought some, and we had to both get on a Zoom because it's like, it can't be this cheap. Do you mind if I share?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, so one of the things that I taught Linda to do is do what's called dollar cost average. In other words, to get the black card, it's 300,000 Zoom tokens. So you could buy 300,000 Zoom tokens. Bam, right now. It's a little over $3,000. They're 1.1 cents a piece. The other thing you can do is dollar cost average in and buy over time. And I told Linda, whenever you're thinking about Zoom tokens, go on and buy 1,000 Zoom tokens. And we were on a phone call today, and you two were very, very, very gratefully sitting out by the pool, enjoying some of the good life that you get when being in GS Partners. And so right there by the pool, Linda said, "Oh, I'm gonna buy some Zoom tokens because we're thinking about it and talking about it." So she opens up her app and she says, "You must be doing something wrong. It's only $11.20. Well, that's because 1,000 Zoom tokens are only $11.20. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you keep in mind that, so when I bought breakfast this morning, and it was, I'm rounding, it was like $25. Let's say it was 20. That makes the math easy. So 5% back is $1 in Zoom tokens, right? $1 in Zoom tokens at 1.1 cents. Now, but I'm going to say when, because I believe in the project, when Zoom tokens go to 2.2 cents, I didn't get 5% back for my breakfast this morning. I got 10% back. You with me? Because the value of the tokens doubled. if the tokens go to Gary, we've seen the token. You remember the high that we've seen? It was in the 80s. It was in 80 cents. You can look at the historical chart on Zoom token. It was up in the 80 cents in the bull run. And Gary and I were part of a company. We put many tens of thousands of people in, and they were all CoinZoom customers. And it ran the value of that coin up. We received CoinZoom tokens for entering that company. It's a long story. Short of it is, we believe the Zoom, we didn't sell at 80 some odd cents because we believe, my partner and I, that the Zoom token's worth more. If it goes to 10 cents, it's been to 80. If it goes to 10 cents, that's 10 times as much. So you see that you didn't get 5% back, you got 50% back. So anyway, now you see why we're bullish on CoinZoom, why we're bullish on Zoom tokens. I hope that makes sense to you. Let's go through a Q&A, and I think let's try to be as orderly as we can. If Christian, Linda, and Gary, between the three of you.
Also, real quick, I cut and paste a link from Forbes magazine today about crypto, and everybody needs to click on that while they can and save that and read that article from Forbes.
Awesome.
Pretty cool.
I'm gonna click on that now.
I just want to make a comment, Jerry. I just want to follow up and say I've been using, as we've talked about CoinZoom now, maybe 2-3 years. I would say in this last year, I've been using it almost exclusively, living on crypto. And I think I've worn my card out. It needs to be replaced. It's pretty chewed up, but I don't want to exchange it because then I'll be without it for probably a week or two.
Right.
I love it. I love what I love so much is the spend wallet, which allows me to select different coins that I'm holding in my wallet and spend from that wallet. And it does the automatic conversion right behind the scenes from crypto to dollars. And they do the conversion instantly right at point of sale. Moreover, if I'm standing at a cash register and my card doesn't work, I say to myself, oh, shoot, I forgot to switch to a different wallet. I can literally standing right there, open the app, and in seconds switch to USD or Bitcoin or whatever wallet has enough enough value in it to cover that transaction. And it's literally a seconds and it's done. And I can run the card again and complete the transaction. I've had to do that a couple of times because I forgot to do it before I hit the cash register. But I love this platform for so many reasons, and they're just making it better and better. So
we've seen that. I mean, there haven't been a lot of changes, but it has gotten even better over the 3.5 years. And I'll tell you, one of the things that I think has really got them positioned for growth is, and one of my favorite aspects of what CoinZoom has done recently. I was talking about Todd earlier, but I just love Fiona Naughton, British lady, super sharp, 27 plus years. She was at Robinhood. All heard of Robinhood, the financial app and financial brokerage house. She was at PayPal, senior vice president of PayPal. She was at BlackBerry, HTC. And for over 3 years, I said, oh man, if we could just get some marketing in here. And they did that. And Fiona has been a big part of that. They've got a lot of initiatives that they're working on. I put the registration link in the chat and also the QR code here on the screen. And keep in mind, remember, step 1 is to download the app. And then step 2 is click on the link or scan the QR code. But is that Jim with a question?
Yes, I have a question. I have a person I am sponsoring for GSP, and he has cash that he doesn't want to put in the bank. Mm-hmm. Can you send money via like a cashier's check to CoinZoom?
You cannot, but you can use what's called CoinZoom Cash. And let me flip over to that here. CoinZoom Cash is a part of the app when you click on the funding, where you can take the cash to a retail store, and you can, on the app, you can look up where the nearest place to do that is. We did that the other day when we were at lunch with Christian and Linda, and there was a Pilot store. Isn't that like a truck stop or something out there?
Right, Pilot. Truck
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Pilot that you could go into. They're adding merchants all the time on this CoinZoom Cash. In fact, Gary, you were the first one to tell me about it. I didn't even realize they'd added it.
Right.
And you've used it, right? Didn't you walk in and
Yeah,
you
I've used
do?
it. Yeah, I've used it several times.
Yeah. So right here, CoinZoom Cash, and the website just coinzoom.com/cash. So there you go, Jim. They can
All right.
walk into, and they're adding more retailers all the time, but you can put up to 1,000. And I know some locations, I think the location that you mentioned, Gary, was 500. You could do multiple transactions, but the amount is dictated by the store.
Christian, it's Rebecca.
Oh, Rebecca, how are you?
Good.
Sorry, Zoom
okay.
user.
I know it popped up that way.
Hi, Rebecca. Hey, so why
Hey.
we did this, when I posted the link out on JJ's link, it was for a solution while
While
Swiss
we're waiting.
goes through their beta testing, which is going to last all summer. And a lot of
Right.
people won't have the opportunity to be able to, if they choose to have Swiss Valorum Bank, they won't have the opportunity for a couple of months. And so when we met Jerry, we saw this as a really fantastic way of being able to help a ton of people, on ramp, off ramp. And so we felt like this would be a worthwhile thing to be able to introduce to everybody. Now it does
100%.
a choice, and as we all run into different things, with governments and things out there, people will have more value on all ends of the spectrum. So this was really just to help everybody out and to give people suggestions on ways and different kinds of cryptos to use.
Yeah, great answer. Great answer. Go ahead, Christian.
And it's also Jerry's actually brought this to GSP too, so that GSP knows about it.
And stuff too, because it's like,
Yeah.
like you said, it cuts down on so much that's awesome. So thank you.
I kind of think that I have a feeling down the road, I think there will be some kind of a relationship. It's just my opinion that these guys can fill in some holes that GSP is dealing with, and could be a really good solution to some of the
Could
things.
Be some good synergy. Could be some real good synergy, I think. Yeah,
so that's what they're doing.
Most of us over the years, have used more than one bank, right? I mean, if you open up your purse right now, Linda, don't you have multiple cards in there, multiple banks, and we always want to have redundancy.
I have a plethora of cards.
Plethora. Yeah, I thought you said none. Yeah,
No.
that's what I used to tell the banks when they said, "Well, it's CoinZoom. Where are you sending this money?"
None yet.
I'm buying a whole case of none yet.
Thanks, Linda. Thanks, Christian. Thanks,
None
Jerry.
your
Appreciate
business.
None of your business.
Yeah, my opinion is absolutely get a CoinZoom account. I think it'll work hand in hand once SVB, Swiss Valorum Bank, is up and running in its fullest form. I think it's just great to have CoinZoom locally and SVB as well. And I think
Absolutely.
redundancy is a good thing.
Hey guys, can I ask you a question here really quick?
Is it Scott?
Yeah, it's Scott here. So fantastic presentation this evening. Unfortunately, Jerry, I jumped the gun. A month and a half ago, I signed up already. Not with a referral link like yours, of course. I've already got the CoinZoom card. And unfortunately, I did the debit card transaction. I had to wait the 21 days before I could use the funds. Is there a way around this now? Can I go back and implement your referral?
Well, so you're not a new customer anymore, right? You've been a customer for several weeks, and so the good news is that that delay is just for new customers on the wire transfer. The other forms of transfer that have a delay, that's out of CoinZoom's control, right? So the ACH takes minimum of a week to 2 weeks, and ACH is nice because it's free, but it takes forever. You can fund with your card, you can fund with the coins and cash. So, I mean, number one, especially after you're set up now, Scott, and it's not a brand new account, just wire transfer,
Is that immediate then, once that's,
Yeah.
transferred then?
Yeah. As soon as it
Okay.
hits, the bank. So it's as immediate as you can get. Meaning
Okay.
just to review, send it as early in the day as you can. I've always sent mine before 2 p.m. Eastern. Just over the years, I've learned from dealing with the Fed that it takes time. So that means that they had 3 hours to send it, clear the Fed, and get to the destination. And then Evolve Bank does a batch every night, and they let CoinZoom know, here's all the wires that came through yesterday.
Okay. And what's the max you can send in one transaction?
There isn't a max. There's no max.
Okay. What about withdrawing from CoinZoom?
Go on to the website.
FAQs. Okay.
In the support and the FAQs. Yeah. The reason I say that is because stuff changes. Like I used to have it memorized, and then I told someone, and they're like, well, it's this, or that's not what I found. I found it was this. And oh yeah, they changed the policy. So yeah, so that support document, those FAQs, you got access to it right from the app or the website, either one. And they're very thorough, very well done. They've spent a lot of time on the FAQs because obviously the more questions they can answer ahead of time, the fewer support questions they get.
Absolutely. And then on the wire transfer, do you suggest going down to the bank first and doing it, or calling the bank over the phone and doing it?
I haven't done mine anyway, but online in probably 15 years.
Okay.
Just on the online banking, you can come in. Depends on your bank, of course, and the different security. You have to get it authorized maybe the first time or whatever. But I mean, I can do it. I have to do it from my laptop. I know I have 2 different banks that I work with, and neither of them will allow me to do it from the smartphone. I have to use the laptop.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You
Hey,
bet.
Jerry, I have a question to piggyback off of Scott's question.
Sure, Brian.
On the hold, you were kind enough to, I've done a few, get some holds released. Once we get that, see, I've got it done already on my account. If I wire more money in my account, that hold is no longer there. Okay.
Right.
I just wanted to confirm that from
and,
that.
And I was surprised when you came up again. I was like, wait a minute, we already took care of the Snyder's, but it was your wife's account. So do you care if I use you as an example that we learned what you learned? So you had an account in your name, but your wife set up the CoinZoom account. So you sent it from your account, like a retirement account of some sort, into your wife's CoinZoom, and it rejected.
So
and
what
we figured out why?
Yeah, what it was, it was a retirement account, and CoinZoom does not accept from IRAs or inherited IRAs.
Right.
So we just kind of redid it. So I appreciate that, knowing that. And then also another question, since I have you, I noticed I got CoinZoom, I don't know, a month ago, and I went on my Android Play Store, and it says, I typed in CoinZoom Pro and it said install. So I don't have the Pro version. Is that something I need to get?
I just much prefer it. I just personally much prefer the Pro version. What I call the training wheels version. It basically accomplishes most things that you need it to do. It's a little glitchy. It's the newer of the apps, and I spoke with the gentleman who's over the mobile app department today, and it was actually in preparation for this call. I had a question about something, and he said that the new app is getting close. They've hired an outside firm to develop a new app, and in the future it'll be one app, not 2, and you'll select the Pro or the Simple from within the app. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And then I haven't looked yet on the cards. Is there a small annual fee for the CoinZoom Visa card?
No, I don't ever remember seeing a fee. Do you, Garrett?
Okay. I was just wondering, since you guys are
an annual fee of any kind. Well, yeah. And in fact, there's no annual fee.
Cool.
I have my my business partner, and I'm going to make him tell the story because he and I, he's been in crypto since 2011, and he and I have been friends and business partners, known each other since the early 90s. And as Gary can attest, he's known Ron for 3.5 years. As Christian and Linda can attest, you've known him for a few months now. He is a savant when it comes to cryptocurrency and the blockchain.
Oh yeah.
He just, I mean, literally one of the top people in the world. And we were using a different company. We were training people. We had a training company training people how to use cryptocurrency and utilize it as a hedge and you know, all things blockchain. And I found CoinZoom, and I brought CoinZoom to Ron, who I consider him the master, and said, I think I found something pretty amazing, pretty incredible. And Ron, and we'll use the car analogy, right? Ron, you thought you were going to pop the hood and looking at a what?
Pinto.
A Pinto, a Ford Pinto. I didn't oversell it. I thought I at least had got it up to maybe Toyota Camry status.
Well, I tell you, you know, for years and years, everyone's tried to come out with a crypto debit card. Now there's a few that work, right? But back in the day, I literally received dozens of cards that never wound up working. So it's quite a challenge, right? And so at the time I was using crypto.com, made a ton of money. We like 400 extra money on their coin. We were all gung ho on it. And that was the first one that ever worked. But actually their previous company before they became crypto.com sent me a couple cards that didn't work. So I'm super impressed. And I mean, at the time we were trading sometimes millions of dollars a day. And you know, we haven't seen it in a while, but the $30,000 up, or let's just call it $10,000 spikes in Bitcoin or $10,000 drops in Bitcoin a day, Coinbase would freeze up and all the other accounts would freeze up. And hope you can hear me okay. I'm up while hiking in the mountains, but
yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, never had a problem. But actually the reason I rose my hand, I wanted to give a little bit of a reverse testimonial here because pretty new to GS Partners. Gary's been talking to us about it since the fall. We were in the middle of the CoinZoom, you know, purchase that we purchased part of CoinZoom and just really didn't have a chance to take a look at it. But then Jerry started looking at it and saying, man, there's similar thing. I was skeptical about CoinZoom because Utah company, I just thought they were junk. You know, I just thought it was another wannabe Utah crypto company. And it turned out to be absolute freaking Maserati, Bugatti, whatever you want to use, right? 4 years later, it's all I've been using for years now. But same with, he started telling me his GS Partners is, hey, this is really serious, whatever. Did go to Dubai, obviously super impressed with everyone. But before this, he founded a company called Interbank FX. They were a $95 billion a month Forex exchange, fourth largest in the world. And he sold it for $50 million in 2011. But the guy had customers in 200 plus countries, right? Ran one of the largest Forex exchanges in the world. And so obviously very impressive. But these guys at GS Partners are very serious business guys. They have a plan. I mean, they're taking on some pretty aggressive stuff, and nothing's guaranteed in this world. But I was very impressed with that. And I'm sure that Linda and Christian and Jerry felt the same way, and Todd did too. It's like, yeah, these guys, just an impressive, humble, and to hear all the stuff they had for their worldwide launches and their different partners and stuff. A lot of the stuff we didn't understand because they were talking international banking that these guys are both highest level of, right? And yeah, that just impressed me. That made me a lot more excited about GS Partners, a lot more willing to just jump in with both feet and tell a lot of people about it. So.
I was bragging on you earlier, Ron. I don't know if you heard. I've earned a little over 100,000 Zoom tokens in a little over 3 years, and I know you've surpassed that.
Yeah, I think I just broke 500,000. So if they go to $10, it'll be good day. But I held all those over 1 million when they went up to 80 cents. So, but I didn't sell any because I believed in it, and I believe they'll come back. Another thing I wanted to say too, it's the Swiss Valorian Bank. Our fund is set up in British Virgin Island. One of our partners is one of the top, DAO attorneys in the whole world. Has been doing it for 30 plus 40 years and setting up, biggest hedge funds and things like that. And all our stuff's domiciled out of the British Virgin Islands. But recently they had to switch all our banking to Switzerland. I don't know where we were, Liechtenstein or wherever we were, maybe Bahamas, but they all, they recently, our attorneys down there, our partner goes down there on a regular basis because he has a lot of clients and he's writing all the laws for the Utah. He's the governor's crypto czar, whatever. But yeah, that's interesting. So I'm super excited to get personally to do that. Personally, in the past, I've been out of Jersey Island and stuff, and it's in just off of the coast of France and whatnot. But it's great to have offshore banking, I think. So I'm super excited, and definitely, obviously, what our guys are telling us, which are the top advisors to some of the top, multi-billion dollar hedge funds, is Swiss bank is the best right now, giving all the current circumstances. So I'm excited. Can't wait to get that account. And I don't even own any other account. So I've been unbanked for 4+ years now, but I'm here. But I'm excited about getting that Swiss Florin bank set up for me personally.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, your virtual card is right there. You can click on the gear wheel and get the card details, which is the virtual card number. When you order the card, then they mail it to you. It's actually a different number. So you have 2 different numbers, Visa numbers.
Hey, Jerry, I got a quick question. That temporary digital card, can you add that to Apple Pay?
Yeah, it's not a temporary card at all. It's not temporary.
Okay.
And
Just
and
a
that
digital
is,
version of it.
yep. Yeah, it's just two card numbers, right? And so you can, as soon as you get this, you can absolutely add this to your Apple Pay, your Google Pay. For me, I've got it my Apple Wallet, so that means I can use my watch to pay, and I love it. Yeah, I mean, convenience wise, I don't know if you guys are using Apple Pay or Google Pay. I had it, wasn't using it, and I was in Europe back in 2012 or 2013, and everywhere I went, they had Apple Pay, and right there in Europe, I set mine up and started using it. Not CoinZoom, I wasn't with CoinZoom back then, but of course, as soon as CoinZoom got that capability, I added it.
Love it. Good stuff, Jared. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, you guys, these guys have been massive help to us, and we've had a little learning curve that is pretty quick. And I mean, if I retain anything, it's a miracle. So I even understand this. So, I would suggest everybody on here to do exactly what he's told us to do with the Zoom account and start utilizing it, because we're at the end of the month. We're all scrambling. We're all racing for the end of the month, that bonus, right? We're trying to get people to rank as much as we can in the next 4 or 5 days. And
this would be a great way.
This is a great tool to utilize while you've gotten the information, So if you need any guidance from here on out, you just get a hold of us, Linda or me, or whoever your upline is or whatever. Just, we're here for you, and we'd be more than happy to walk you through anything. We've got personal goals ourselves with GSP, and that's why we're pretty kind of active with doing everything that we can think of to rank ourselves, right? We're all trying to get there. So, and nothing happens without you guys. So let us help you. And that's the only way you're helping us, is if you let us help you. So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you so much, Jerry. Appreciate it, man. You're brilliant. Ron, appreciate you being on.
Happy to help. We love it. We love being a part of the GSP family, and we're doing some great things. We're going in the right direction, and we're blessing a lot of lives and helping people. So let's finish the month strong.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think we did it. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
And hey, real quick,
Thank you, Jerry.
Well, thanks everyone.
You bet.
Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day, and finish the month strong.
Thanks, Ron.
Thank you, Jerry.
See you guys.
Bye.